Yeah, so this deal has been in the works for the last few days, a variety of versions going back and forth between the Trump administration and Ukrainian representatives. What has been landed on, reports say, is that the United States will have 50% of future monetization of extracted minerals from Ukraine, including commodities such as oil, gas, lithium. 50%, that is significant. It's something that the Trump administration has really been making waves about, because Donald Trump has been vociferous that Ukraine owes the United States in terms of the aid that it has received in its conflict with Russia. Now, of course, this likely wouldn't have been on the table had a different administration been in power. The previous U.S. administration very much supported Ukraine and sending aid to the country. Donald Trump has very warm and cordial relations, however, with Russian President Vladimir Putin, which has really set the stage for this deal. In terms of some more of the details, we'll wait for those to come out. But one thing that's quite important is that there are no security guarantees offered to Ukraine, which of course is critical. Let's not forget that the entire context of these conversations between Zelensky and Trump is the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Trump has been very clear that he wants an end to the conflict and a deal to be done soon. But of course, what remains to be seen is how much any deal will actually be advantageous to Ukraine. We'll wait and see for that. Back to you.
Well, Poppy, Donald Trump says Zelensky wants to come to Washington to sign the mineral deals. And we understand another important stakeholder, Europe, as Donald Trump has just met with French President Emmanuel Macron in Washington. So what else can we expect from Zelensky's visit?
Yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air at this moment. But yes, Zelensky is expected in Washington, D.C. on Friday to sign that deal. Very interesting to note that it is a bilateral deal. As much as Zelensky has been publicizing that it's part of his victory plan, that plan specifically noted the strategic partners of Ukraine might get access to the commodities of the country. But in this deal, it's strictly the United States that will benefit. The Europeans have been left very much flat-footed as Trump has charged ahead, essentially, holding, of course, that phone call a couple of weeks ago with Putin. And subsequently, we saw Russian and U.S. delegations in Saudi Arabia meeting to start talking about how a deal could be done. As much as there was a Paris summit by the Europeans, their response has been very much uncoordinated in terms of how U.S. defense could potentially look. So, of course, as you mentioned, we had Macron here in D.C. in talks with Trump, and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer also expected on Thursday. But really, in parallel, as we have seen, this deal has been bashed out and has been struck. So it's really unclear right now just how much leverage the European partners of Ukraine have at this moment.
Well, definitely going to be a busy week in Washington, D.C. We'll keep you updated. Thank you so much, Poppy, for your reporting from Washington.